episode 422. Welcome all you people coming for Fans of Patrol. Hot, man. I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego, and I don't know why I got such conviction when I'm talking today, but I do. Welcome, my co-host, Miss Tiffelbot. What's happening this week with you?
You know what? Before we got on the air, we were kind of talking about how excited I am that the Dungeons and Dragons movie is coming out.
Yeah.
But, I want to see the movie, but not necessarily because of that. There's going to be like a popcorn holder that you can get that's the D20 dice.
Really?
It's like I don't remember which theater it was at, like which chain, like AMC or Cinemark or whatever. You pay like the $20 for it, and then they put the popcorn in it. When
it's $20 for the plastic.
Yeah, it's cool though. You can use it afterwards for other things, like putting treasures inside of, and then later thinking, oh man, now I have to get rid of this thing that I bought for $20. During the last Doctor Strange movie, they had
I remember you saying something about
a cube.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I spent a lot of time in the theater during that movie regretting my choice not to buy one. And by the time I came back out of the movie, they were gone.
You were like, never again.
Yeah. So now I'll just buy every single one of them that comes out. And then if I don't want it, throw it in the garbage.
Interesting. So speaking of that movie, they had I didn't realize until after I had walked past, they had probably a private screening for it yesterday when I went to the show to see today's movie. I only know how, because Everbright, you know that app Everbright for tickets and all that stuff. Sure. They were like doing the thing, and they had that chest with the big tongue that come out. They had like a life-size thing there, and I was like, what is that about? Like an old man, you know, and I kept walking, and I was like, oh. No, I didn't even realize until I saw the preview. And funny enough, Tiff, you know, we're literally kind of excited about a Dungeons and Dragons movie. I mean, do we? Yeah. You know how bad they've been in the past? Like,
right. No matter how many times we've been duped in the past and believing that the Dungeons and Dragons film will be good, we see this one and we're like, well, it's probably going to be good.
Optimism still strikes, right?
Optimism, you got it. You're always coming for me, tricking me. I remember my movie dollars.
Some of those movies were bad, Tiff. I mean, I remember the one with Damon Wayne. I mean, Marlon Wayans, I think, was in it, and then it was just bad. You were like, "Ooh, why would they greenlight this thing?" You know.
Dungeons and Dragons is such a complicated property because it's obviously it's a huge, sprawling thing that is just touched so many things. And then even in and of itself, if you just contained it, just like if you were just doing the game and that was all you were doing, all you were interacting with it in that way, it's a rich contextual thing. And then the way it's influenced just fantasy and like all these other things too. But like that's why you're saying, like with the Wayne's brother that was in that movie, like because there's comedic elements to it, which we see in this new movie, and I'm very hopeful for it being funny.
Yeah. So what I think they may have nailed in this movie, or what I think has gotten us excited, is that you can talk about dragons, you can play all this stuff that when you're doing it is serious. However, if you look around the table for all the other goofballs sitting there playing that game with you, it's almost like they took goofballs that play that game and they put them in the movie to be the characters that you will play. So it's almost like players.
If that is what they did, that's really smart. It would be really great. Yeah, it would be really great sometime to see a Dungeons and Dragons movie where we start off with like a tabletop game of somebody playing it, and then kind of like the Jumanji, where then these people are then their characters.
I kind of like the cartoon in the 80s when the kids went into the amusement park. And then next thing you know, they were given all these powers by the dungeon master, and that was kind of, I love that cartoon. It was only one season. I think they only had 8 episodes. It was the greatest. It was Spider-Man and his amazing friends, and Dungeons and Dragons used to come on with the big dragon Tiamat. It was dope. And season one.
If you were wondering if this show was not necessarily for nerds, it's definitely got 2 nerds talking on it.
Oh.
Because you not only were like, remember that Dungeons and Dragons cartoons from the 80s and the dragon's exact name?
Actually, the dragon's name was Tiamat.
So I know we have started the show. We hit the ground, boom, but we haven't actually started it.
Oh yeah. So let's. So what are we here to do today, man? So we got some trailers that are like some. Not really fans of, well, I can't even say that because
don't you dare,
right.
dare!
Like Tiff might have found us a Sharky Tarky movie for this year to watch. So
I felt like such a little investigator.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about this because I got a feeling we found our shark movie for the year. And hopefully we can get back to some hardcore sharkisms because the last couple years with Les Shark and then the other movie, what was that other movie? I don't even remember.
The meters, 20.
They float off.
And, meters.
Yeah. Those weren't shark movies, you bastards.
They had sharks in them.
Barely. We need an honest to God shark movie. So it looks like Tiff might have found us one and we got a trailer. We're going to talk about that. Also, we got a movie with... what is it?
J.K. Simmons
and Scott Kang. Is that Scott Kang?
Yeah. I was like, I feel like I want to talk about this when we get there, but like this movie was written about in a lot of movie websites, like as this is exciting. But we'll talk about it when we get there. So that's why I put it in. One Day as a Lion is what it's called.
One Day as a Lion. We're going to talk about that. Also, man, we have a game. We have kind of a new game here, so we're gonna have to figure out a name for it, but we got something fresh.
It's like a movie character volley. It's a very common car game, so like we'll talk about that when we get there.
Boom. And our main topic is the movie that's disappointing box offices all over the world. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it, but it's like, you got the stars coming out talking about it. You got, Daejeon Hatsu. He's mentioning something about something totally different. You got Zachary Levi like, hey, market this for shit. And I might agree with him on that. So we're going to talk about Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And we're going to...
Oh, my God. That's a little callback to last week when we talked about
taglines. I remember that. I don't know.
I remember last week, everybody.
I barely remember last week. So we got that going on. So saying all that, that will be it, and that will be all. Are you ready to roll?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. All right, man, it's time for social media shout-out. Tiff, hit us hard.
Ooh. For everything Fans of Patrol, go to fansofpatrol.com. Is that up? Question mark?
I don't know.
How's that? We'll just cut that part out. So get to us at Fans of Patrol on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also you can watch us on TikTok until they take TikTok away. Fans of Patrol 0. Check out our YouTube. And then you can listen to us on your favorite listening platform.
Yeah, man.
Let us know if we're not there. If you have a listening platform,
good point.
That you just let us know, because I don't know if we're on Amazon.
I believe we are. I think.
Oh, well, look at us on Amazon.
Like you can
order us.
Don't Prime. Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Oops.
I think I did that a long time ago. I did. Once you're on.
Yeah, you do have to sometimes you have to ask, and sometimes they just do it.
Sometimes they take your stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes they just
got advertisements going on and shit, and you're like, whoa, how did that happen?
Taking my stuff, putting my stuff, getting some ads. Fuck you, bro. Speaking
of TikTok, man, I'm seeing like influencers melt down all over the globe. They're like begging, please don't take it away. It's my livelihood. I'm like, y'all better look for my livelihood.
I feel bad about that?
No, hell no.
No. I mean, like, I do, because I don't ever want anyone to lose their livelihood, but a lot of these people have made millions of dollars. Put it in a bank, bitch. I mean, like, don't spend it all.
Guess what? I guess a lot of the people...
Don't MC Hammer yourself. Don't do that.
Plus, a lot of these people, like, look, you're putting all your eggs into a vat. Shit changes. I mean, the world, it changes fast, man. You never even know in a couple years if any of this stuff will be able to be monetized, because it's always something else. And who knows?
I mean, I feel like when I see things like that, it feels like it's not offensive to me in any way, because I'm glad that people are able to make money. But sometimes when you see that stuff, I'm like, oh, this happened to you by accident.
Yeah.
Like you just happened to be right place, right time. Like there, I mean, there's also the skills involved in it too, like being enigmatic. Is that a skill? Who knows? But like, you know, having watchability, knowing what content drives your platform, that is all somewhat of a talent, or at least being able to research it. But like, you see some of these people who were like on YouTube or TikTok famous or even Instagram famous, who like clearly were just doing something that they were wanting to do, which is great. I'm glad they can make money from doing that. But then they're like, well, then I don't have a job because my job is this. I'm like, well, then you need to plan for whether or not that's going to be something you can do in perpetuity, because the answer is probably no.
It's called a fallback, children. They teach you that in grade school. You got to have fallback. So.
Yeah, you know, you guys, I do some stuff that's not my real job. Well, this is one of the things that I do that's not a job, that I do because I enjoy it, and we don't make money off of it. But you do it because you love it.
Oh, you're talking about what we're doing here, of course.
Yeah, doing a podcast.
Cool. And guess what? If you happen to make $1 billion off of it, then so be it. I would be like,
yeah, that would be great. But I also, if it stopped making money, if we were making money and stopped making money, I would be ready.
Yeah.
I'd work at McDonald's if I had to. I have no shame. I have zero shame.
I'm not doing that, but
well, you wouldn't, but I would do. Listen, I would do, and there's no shame for anyone who has any kind of job, because you want to know what you're working.
Didn't say that.
You're working. Get to work. That's what I say. If you can and you want to and you whatever.
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm making a lot of judgment calls on people, and I'm not. Just do whatever.
Let's go. So here we go, man. So first up to bid, Tiff.
Yeah, first up to bid is this One Day as a Lion film, which I feel, okay, I'm so interested to know what you think of this movie, because I had seen, so before the show, I do a little bit of research.
Yes.
About news. I know it doesn't seem like, you know, when we bring you the news, it might seem like maybe I haven't looked at it, but like, I bring the news because this was being written about on a lot of movie websites. And I don't know if they're scrounging for news. I think what the issue is that J.K. Simmons is in this movie, an excellent actor.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the film is like, what the fuck is this? Like, when I watch this trailer, I can barely tell you, one, what the movie is about. Two, what exactly is J.K. Simmons' roles in it? Because it sort of feels like a Jennifer Aniston Leprechaun situation, where like they're like, oh yeah, they're in this movie, and then they're in the movie for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like he's in it a lot.
Right,
to me.
Right.
And then you got Scott Conn running around doing his thing. Looks like it's a mix of a few different movies. You got this criminal element. Somebody borrowed money. He's not going to pay it back. I think this other guy needs help, and so they say, well, go kill this guy and we'll give you the money that you need because your son did something stupid to get him out of jail. And it's just a bunch of hijinks running back and forth, but it seems interesting in a almost comedic way.
Yeah, it's more like, it feels more, and maybe that's the thing. It feels more like a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like action comedy, but like it feels more, they're leaning into
it's
the
like
comedy. Which
No
is
Country
fine.
for Old Men if it was a comedy. That's what it seems like to me.
No Country for Old Men if it was not as well made and also funnier.
Well, it has a lot of comedic elements, and
it does,
and the different scenes in the trailers and stuff, and that could either be it could either be a hit or it could be like, what the hell was this? So
when I watch this trailer, what I feel about it is that like it doesn't necessarily make me want to run out and see this movie, but I feel like if I was forced to watch it, and I hate to say forced to watch a film, but I think we all know what I mean by that. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes your friends wants to see it and you're like, sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't be offended to have to put my eyeballs on it, but like I feel like this trailer does not a very good job of making me want to see it.
There's a lot of traction, you say, about this film, and so that is interesting. I mean, it looks fine. It looks like something that if it's on, I'll watch it, or if it's like it's supposed to be in theaters, but then they put it on like one of them channels that we subscribe to for free.
Yeah, you're on Netflix, maybe.
Yeah,
probably not though. Here's the thing: I probably wouldn't even click on this if it was free to me on a streaming platform.
Hey, speaking of free and streaming platform, I saw that they got most of the old school Power Rangers coming out on Netflix in a couple of weeks.
Woo!
I mean, like the original people.
Woo!
Those that are still around, of course, because there's been some people.
Oh wait, are you saying they're rebooting it, or are you just bringing
no? It's like they're now like the people, the Power Rangers now. Like some of them are heavier, some of them are not. Yeah, they're doing a Power Rangers movie. I was like,
okay, so they're saying like these were your power, like my Power Rangers.
Your
like
Power Rangers are doing a movie on Netflix.
And they're, oh, no, thank you. I'm going to say no, thank you.
I'm going to tell you something. They all look old except for the black don't crack. That dude looks he looked like he's 43. He looked good. His body is chiseled. He doing the stance and he looked good. All the rest of them like, oh.
Well, I honestly, good for that guy because he's like, listen, this might be my shot.
Dude, he looked good. Coming back. The rest of them, like, you know, some of the women was a little on the heavier side. And
oh, well, don't be saying shit like that.
The dudes will look like almost like the Crypt Keepers.
Here's the thing: there is a lot more Power Rangers than
it's the original
know about. Right. But like, I'm just saying, it has been something that has.
It's still around.
Yeah, gone on, and like has maybe 500 or more episodes overall of like all these different.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
And what I'm bring that up for is to say that like it's obviously an enduring property, but it's one of those things where like I used to love it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I collected like the action.
Oh, you had the action figures.
Oh, hell yeah! I had a pink Power Rangers T-shirt that I fucking loved, and when it was no longer feasible for me to wear that T-shirt, I put it on my dog. It became a dog T-shirt because I was like, "There's no way this is going in the garbage." But like looking back on it now, I think that the only way I could enjoy it as an adult, I don't have any kind of like, I'm like, oh, I would watch the X-Men cartoon from the childhood and be like, I still enjoy this.
Yeah, but Power Rangers, that's a different.
But when I watch Power Rangers, I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit, I'm embarrassed. I'm having secondhand embarrassment.
Like, why was I watching this?
So like, I can't go back to it. So I don't know if I'd be excited to watch.
And I know this wasn't on we wouldn't talk about this, but it just hit my. Yeah. He said Netflix. You know, so I was kind of, when I was watching that, I was like, I wonder who they making this for, because it's the original one. It's the original ones, man. And you like,
oh, you know, Montego, I am in the minority. People who watched that show, in their hearts, they carry a flame for that shit, and they probably still do. I remember watching this. Fucking out myself as a horrible loser, but MTV has a long running show called True Life. And it's like a documentary where series where every episode is like true life.
I remember
I'm an anime nerd. Yeah.
Like the one guy with Obi-Wan or something, and it ended up being Carlos and shit.
There's a True Life. I think it's True Life. I'm a super fan.
Yeah.
And there was a young man who was still super into Power Rangers. Yeah. I would say, I don't want to make a judgment, but long after most people would have stopped watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it's one of those things that, and I think there's Power Rangers conventions. I don't want to like speak out of turn, but I think they exist.
I don't know why I wouldn't. I mean, look, they wouldn't keep making stuff if it wasn't making money. I just thought, like, when I saw because it's like the old show. They got the witch back, and they got the nubbies or whatever you call them, damn little gray little people, and you know, it's kind of funny because you can see some of them Power Rangers is too old to be doing this shit. Like they'll do a beginning of a kick, and then you'll see a stunt person, even in the trailer, and then you'll see them land. But
maybe that's the point. We're back in the show,
but not the black dude. He doing all his own stunts, man.
He's the Tom Cruise of Power Rangers.
Dude look good. I was sitting there sucking in my stomach watching him. I was like,
I was inspired to become a better person by the Black Power Rangers return to the Power Rangers franchise.
I was impressed, Steph. That's all I want to say. We can move on because this is not even a topic. But
you know what? I honestly, hearing myself, probably I'm not over Power Rangers because we could have talked about this for a couple more hours. But let's talk about Big Sharks instead. You want to talk about some Big Sharks?
Let's talk about this because I was like, what the hell is this when I first saw it? And, you know, so it starts off and what's that guy's name who's the star? He's famous and we've seen him in a lot of stuff. He was
the guy who's the lead.
Yeah, he was in the Firm, TV show. He's been around forever, you know. He was in.
He did seem like. I feel like he's like one of those guys. I feel like that term.
Well, he was a leading man for a while, man. You know, he did. He got a lot of roles. I was watching.
I could not say his. I could not name this man if you put a gun to my head. Josh Lucas is what it says.
Josh Lucas, yeah. Josh Lucas is back.
I don't know who that man is.
Yeah. I've seen plenty of things where he was actually the leading man, and The last thing I seen him in was Ford versus Ferrari. He played a lawyer.
Okay.
There. And so when I saw him, I said, okay, he's not an apex predator actor, so this could be anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Tom Cruise is
I do.
Predator,
but if I was putting more thought into it, I would have thought you were making, because of sharks.
Because of the shark joke. It is a play on that kind of.
Doing that. And then I ruined it by being like, hey, let me explain this joke for everybody listening. Actually, so I found this trailer kind of by accident because there is another big shark movie being talked about.
Yeah.
A lot more than this one.
Like Sea Demon or some kind of shit like that, some kind of name like that.
It's a Tommy Wiseau film. From Tommy Wiseau of The Room.
I
know.
No.
I did, and here's the thing. I almost.
No, thank you. I'll stick with this
one. Well, I saw that and I was like, do I dare talk about that film on this podcast, because I know that you do not care for him, and a lot of people, rightly so, do not.
No, I don't. Because I'm like that one person who has never seen The Room, just never.
I know. It's not, and you know what? It's not for you, and it's not for a lot of people. Especially, I think that if you like movies, you probably.
Yeah, I never. Even with all the jokes with the Nerd Podcast Mafia back in the day, it was like the life's blood of that.
Oh yeah, they really did. They really do enjoy talking about that.
I'm not gonna go see it. I was like, no. I just don't care.
Yeah, I think me and Joey DiCarlo could probably have a discussion about it and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But he has a movie coming out called Big Shark, and I was like, but then in my wanderings, I found this little gem called The Black Demon.
And so it was very different, Tiff, because I saw him, I saw Josh Lucas, and then it looked like it was his family thing, that horror movie, because it has that hazy look on it. Then they're in Mexico, and it looks like it's going to be like because he walks in and talk about, I'm part of the oil company. I'm like, oh, they're going to kidnap the whole goddamn family. And then next thing you know, they're on the oil rig, and there's oil all over the place. And then next thing you know, it's a big-ass shark that's bigger than like a Lincoln Continental. Putting out of the water. And they're like, shark. And I'm like, this is a goddamn shark movie. I was like, we are saved because we got a good shark movie drop. Well, look, we was about to go back to like Jaws or something for this year. I was like,
well, we've done Jaws before, which every year.
One of the Jaws is 3.
Oh, sure. One of the ones that I must, But every year we talk about our big shark movie, and we get sad that we've done
twice
the two big shark movies that we love. Would be obviously Jaws, which impeccable. We can't. No one's going to argue that that's a great big shark movie. And then of course Deep Blue Sea. Which is a different kind, but still a good film. Now, this movie I'm excited about because when I watch this trailer, it gives me, I'm not going to say it's going to be as good as Deep Blue Sea. It can't be, but it gives me Deep Blue Sea vibes because it also has kind of the Meg vibe, which I know you didn't care for the Meg, but I liked it.
I didn't care for the Meg, but
better than most, worse than some.
Way better than La Shark. Way better than the shit we watched last year. I mean, it was truly a shark movie, so I can appreciate it for that reason. And we didn't even do the Meg during Shark Week on our show. We
did that afterwards just because we liked our.
It came out and we were like, let's see this, And that's definitely a Fans Patrol Shark Week movie. So
they have the similar, when I say the Meg and then this movie give me a similar vibe as kind of feeling like potentially they were filmed in a foreign country and got one sort of well-known actor.
Yeah. This movie here.
Both of them, the Meg and this movie.
Well, not even on that, because even like the one last year we watched, it had Alicia Silverstone, and that was like,
but she's not, that's questionable about whether or not that's a get these days. I'm not trying to be mean to her. I'm just saying that she's obviously kind of gone out of the acting circle, so she's probably a little bit cheaper to get.
Yeah, I haven't seen her since that shark movie, which I keep saying that shark movie. I don't even know the name of it.
It's called Le Requin.
Wait a minute, was that Le Shark? Was that
Le Shark?
Oh,
yes,
shit.
That was Le Shark.
So what was the one where the people was getting pulled
47 meters down? I think is what you're talking about.
47 meters. It was a second.
Was the one before that? Yes, 47 meters down on Caged. I think is the one that we watched.
I think we didn't get 3 shitty shark movies in the last 3 years.
We've done many shitty shark movies because one, they all pale in comparison to the good shark movies, but two, because I think that you and I particularly maybe other people, I don't enjoy the like Megalodon or Sharknado.
Yeah.
And not because I don't enjoy shitty, dumb movies. We just talked about The Room. But because those ones just aren't particularly for me. I want my fucking shark. My shark movies are serious. We're scared of sharks.
Those were happy accidents. I get it. You don't want a movie trying to be like, look, this is a shark movie. Yeah. I get it. I understand it too. I get it.
This movie, I liked that it has, even this trailer, if you compare it to the one we watched for the One Day as a Lion.
Yeah.
So I think that a good trailer has, it is a tiny, compact story. It's like the back flap of a book. You're trying to get me to, you're telling there's a little bit, it's a tiny version of the story. So what we're getting here is that we have this opening sequence where everything seems fine. And that's the trying to trick you into thinking that everything's going to be.
It does look like it was made for $5 until you see the shark.
And the shark, you guys, I'm not saying the shark looks great, but if you've seen some of the sharks that we've seen. And it looks like there's going to be a genuinely scary movie. It looks like it's pretty well acted. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm excited. I'm putting my hopes into this shark movie, and guess what? Comes out in June.
In June, right in time for shark. We normally do a shark movie the first week of July.
Just around the time June, July, shark time.
So get ready, y'all.
Guess what? Here's what's going to be really fucking disappointing is that for some reason this won't be streaming and it won't be released in theaters near us for some reason.
What the hell? Where's the shitty shark movie?
Will I drive 10 hours to see The Black Demon? Maybe. Keep an eye on this one, you guys. I actually think that this is going to be a contender for like Deep Blue Sea type feelings.
Oh shit, check you out. I wouldn't give it that, but I think it's going to be better
not like as good as Deep Blue Sea, but like sometimes when you can't have the thing that feels as good, you get like a little bit.
I think it will be better than all of the last 3 shitty shark movies we did. That's for sure. I just want some real shark stuff. Look.
Show me something scare me a little bit. Make me afraid to dangle my legs in the pool.
What? That's it, right? Right. Don't go in there. That's what that should be in your mind. Don't go in there. You know, after those last 3 movies is over, it was like, shit, I need a vacation. I want to.
Yeah, I'll go there. I don't even care if that's happening.
Right. Honestly, I felt that way. Like, shit, let's go on vacation. Anyway. Bad movie. So, man. That's it for the news, Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a break and we're going to come back because we got to figure out a name. We got to tell people about the new game and hold on to the. Oh, I was about to say something really bad. Hold on, we'll be back.